Okay, so the first card you have, your past, is the Five of Pentacles. Horrible card, but the feeling I'm getting around this, it's kind of like, obviously there's unhappiness here, but there's a lot of anger here as well. It feels like someone was blocked or locked out of your life, because I'm seeing these people and obviously they're locked out of this church. So someone wanted to come into your life and they were locked out of your life. And I think with them and you, I think there are a few problems on both sides, but I'm seeing more problems on their sides, because I think they were trying to lock you into something and you had to get out of that. You felt really uneasy, you didn't like that. That's the feeling I'm getting. So in the end, you locked them out. I'm seeing a bit of kind of shady talk, all of that kind of thing. I think they're trying to provoke you. I think they're unhappy with something you did. You weren't doing what they wanted or something like that. So then they were a little bit shady, a little bit subtle in the way they were saying things, all that kind of thing. Very sneaky, so that it wouldn't look bad on them. That's the kind of thing I'm getting. Lots of indirectness. But yeah, you weren't playing their game. You weren't playing their game, and then they started with these little kinds of digs, kind of like stabs wrapped up in a pretty bow. Like, you know, when people are like that. And Aries do not like that. They do not play along with anything like that. Absolutely not. I'm the same. I'd rather walk away from anything like that. I'm not interested. And yeah, there's something about wanting to be heard, and that makes sense. I want you to hear me. I want you to hear me. I've done this thing for you. You're not grateful. You're supposed to be playing along. I've done this. You have to do this now. That's the kind of thing I'm getting. It's kind of like an exchange. It's just like an exchange. I've done this for you, and you have to do what I say. That's not what they said literally, but that's the feeling I'm getting. And you're kind of pushed into this. And, you know, you didn't want to be in this. You didn't ask for them to do whatever it was for you. And it's this feeling of, oh, it's this horrible kind of claustrophobic, entangled feeling, you know, guilt, obligation, all that kind of thing. If someone's trying to guilt you, it has you running in the opposite direction. Doesn't matter what it is. So, yeah, I think you decided to just completely distance yourself from this person. No more obligations, no more guilt. You know, Aries is a bit like the Fool, or Aries is supposed to be the Fool. Well, the Emperor and the Fool, two different aspects of Aries. And, you know, the Fool does their own thing. They go their own way. They don't like to be forced into things. They don't like to be obliged to do things or feel guilty about things. It doesn't work. They just run away. And I think that's what happened here. You tried to run away. They came back again with all these little shady things, and you just cut them off. That's what I'm seeing happening in that card. So very clean cut. I wish they were, but they weren't, obviously. The next card you have for your past is the Six of Wands. So yeah, obviously the Victory card, fantastic card. And you know, one of the reasons why, this is kind of following on from what I was seeing in the Five of Pentacles, because one of the reasons why you're able to focus so well on your goals and achieve them and get to victory, it's because you don't feel beholden to a lot of these little rules, these unwritten rules that people try and force on you and expect of you. And yeah, that makes you unpopular with people sometimes, which is what I was seeing in the Five of Pentacles. You're unpopular, but you don't care. You don't care about that. You'd rather be alone than have to put up with all these kind of little games and shadiness, and I've done this for you even though you haven't said you wanted it, and now you have to do this. You just, it feels like a web to you, a spider's web, and you just want to run out of that. Yeah, you want people to be upfront. If they want something, ask. If they don't. You know, that's the kind of thing. So yeah, again, I'm seeing blocking, so you probably blocked this person. Because what I'm seeing on this card, if you look at this man, he's up, you know, up on his horse, he's in this parade, he's in the victory parade. All these other people are on the sidelines. So yeah, this person was on the sidelines watching you while you're getting along with things, doing your thing, and they were feeling quite angry, quite resentful because you weren't playing along with them. And just be prepared for a little bit of gossip, a little bit of talk behind your back. It's nothing bad, I wouldn't worry about this, but they're very angry, they're still quite hurt, they feel very left out, and they're on the sidelines. of this victory parade, and you're in the victory parade, and they don't like that. That's what I'm seeing. The other thing I'm seeing in this card is, obviously this is a fantastic card. There's a big milestone that's coming up for you, a big achievement that's coming up for you. And yeah, there's money here, obviously, lots of pentacles here. So I think you've been kind of measuring where you are against where you'd like to be with this milestone. Not just financially, but that's a part of it. It's like, oh, I'm only a fifth the way of where I want to be, or a third of the way. If I just do this, how can I plan to get, you know, half the way, and then almost there, and then there? You know, what can I do? What can I do? So it's kind of like you're planning all this. It looks like over the next few months, things are really going to start to escalate for you in terms of money, achievements, and this goal that you want. You're going to be very, very close to your goal, a lot closer than you thought you'd be. And I don't think you're going to have to do any extra work to get there, because I'm already seeing you working quite hard, and you know, this increase, this escalation, it feels really natural. It's like it's supposed to happen. Perfect timing. It happens at the right time for you. It's not like, right, I'm going to push and push and push this, and then I'm going to get to the goal. It's like, yes, I'm just going to do all the work I've always done and be a bit more relaxed about this, and it's going to happen at the right time. That's the difference I'm seeing. And yeah, I'm just looking at all these people around this man, and I see what I usually see with you, which is, you know, I'll show you, I'll achieve this, and I'll show you what I've done, and all that. And I think you used to be a bit like that, but you've progressed from that now. You're a bit more mellow, you're a bit less, I'll show you. Your achievements are really more about you now. They're not about other people and trying to get better than them and all that kind of thing. So, and I think that's why the universe is probably pushing you faster down this path now. Because once you take, I'm not saying you were like this, but once you take kind of bitterness and all that kind of, oh, I'm really mad at them, I want to be better than them. And once you take that out of things and you're just achieving because you want to, that's when the universe gets behind you a lot more. So I think that might be what's happening now. Really, really good. I'm definitely seeing you reaching some kind of big milestone, probably in the first half of this year. I never used to talk about times and dates and things like that, but I'm getting a bit braver now. I do that a bit more now. So that's what I'm seeing. And with this and the Ace of Wands that I've got here as well, there are different parts to these goals. 3 parts actually. So and I was thinking, you know, I'm only a third of the way there. So you might be a third of the way there now, and then you're going to get there. You're going to see the second part of this goal, and then you're going to see the third part. So I'm seeing 3 parts, and I'm looking across to this 3 of Wands, and that's showing me that as well. So I'm just saying that. So yeah, I'll go on with the Ace of Wands. So yeah, so fantastic. So you've got the 6 of Wands, you've got the Ace of Wands. So you're being led to action, and that's another thing that's going to bring you closer to this big, big milestone. Now, again, it doesn't necessarily mean, you know, action doesn't mean hard work necessarily. Sometimes it does. But I'm not seeing that here. I'm actually seeing you easing off, doing a little bit less. Yeah, there's more of an emphasis on quality and tailoring things to, you know, specific things that you want to do. I hope that makes sense. It's almost like slowing down is going to increase your focus, and that's what's going to increase your money and, you know, your escalation toward this goal. And, you know, I think on the outside you do come across as, oh, I don't care what people think of me. But you do have a nervous side on the inside, and I'm seeing that easing for you. I think I saw this in your last reading, that kind of calmness coming to you, coming to your insides, and I think that relaxed state is going to help you to do better quality, not just in your work, but in all areas of your life. You know, settling down, really looking at things carefully, looking at what you want. So it's a slowness and it's a better quality of things. And, you know, you're not going to be totally calm sitting around cross-legged all day long, but you'll notice a difference in how you're feeling. You've probably already noticed that, and that's going to make a difference to how things happen on the outside and how you do things. I hope that all makes sense to you. I know that's a little bit abstract, but I hope it makes sense. Okay, so the first card you have your presence, the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, so yeah, again, here's this give and take, and this is what I was seeing in the Five of Pentacles. And what's interesting is they're right next to each other, so you can see the difference in the two. And yeah, they're kind of about each other. So again, this kind of give and take thing, expectations, they're expecting things from you, and this card's all about unfairness. So you felt that this exchange was unfair, and you blocked them, or you stopped them, or something like that, or you distanced themselves. The other thing I'm getting in this card is if you're in a relationship, it feels like a joining together, a connecting, like a puzzle, putting things together, putting everything you have together. It feels quite positive. It feels like you're getting a lot closer. You're going up to another level with someone. That's what it feels like. I'm trying to find the right way to say this. I don't think your partner's out to exploit you or do anything terrible to you like that. I am getting a positive feeling around this whole connection. I really am. But if someone's trying to merge all their finances with you, all their money with you, and if your instincts are telling you to keep your money separate, then absolutely do that. Follow your instincts. There's a lot of uneasiness around this, and you're extremely independent. That's just your nature, to be very independent. So if this is you, keep your things separate for now. Keep your money separate for now, if that's what your instincts are telling you to do. If you're getting this, if they're saying to you, oh, let's put all our money together, and you have this really uneasy feeling about that, that's telling you, that's your instincts telling you not to do that. There's a lot of ambiguity in this whole reading, I have to say, and it's ambiguity is the opposite of who you are. You're about, that's right, that's wrong, straightforward, no messing around, no shadiness, no kind of half things, none of that. So yeah, if you do pull your money together, and you know, there might be incidents that come up in the future where, you know, maybe you're questioned or they're questioned about money, and you don't want to be questioned about your spending. You don't want to have someone else being questioned or anything like that. And you like to keep things fair. You like to keep things above board. So I think your feeling is going to be, no, I don't want to do this for now. And you can always change your mind later. You can always change how you feel later. It's not set in stone. You know, it might be that you're moving in together, because I was seeing another level in a relationship. So it might be that, and, you know, where your money's going to have to work together. But only do what you're comfortable with. That's what I'm seeing in that card if you're in a relationship. Okay, so the next card you have your presence, the Nine of Wands. Okay, I'm feeling someone around you. It feels like a presence. It's someone who's there, but they're not physically there, if that makes sense. It actually feels like you're trying to get someone off your mind. Look at this man. He's got a bandage around his head. And so something's on his mind, something's bothering him. So you're trying to get this person off your mind, I think. It feels quite frustrating to me, actually, because it's like you're almost there. You've almost gotten rid of them, I should say, out of your mind. You know, you're not talking to them, you're not messaging them, you're not going around saying, oh, I want them back. It's not like that. But they're just there. They're there. They're in your mind. They're around your energy. That's what I'm seeing there. Now, okay, if you're on social media, because I'm seeing something around social media here, I don't think you've blocked them. You might have, I don't know, because there's a lot of blocking, a lot of cutting out in this whole reading. And this man's behind a barrier, so it might be that you've blocked them. I don't know. But they're going to be popping up, literally. Not in your house, don't worry. They're going to be popping up. I'm seeing their face kind of popping up. So it's probably on social media, you know, when you scroll up and you see these images. And I think that's what's going to happen. I just keep on seeing this face popping up. So, yeah, this is a bit strange. But, yeah, there's something about their face or their appearance. Something's changed in their appearance. Really, really changed. If this is resonating, I think when you see this picture and, you know, this big change in them, I think that's going to be the start of you finally getting over them, actually. You know, again, you're not walking around crying or whatever. It's just that there's this last little bit of them around your energy that's going to start to shift out of your energy, I think, when you see this picture. And there's more than one picture, because I keep on seeing them popping up again and again and again. So, yeah, you're going to obviously want to put a barrier up between you and all that. But I think you're going going to be quite shocked when you see what they look like. I'm really getting that very, very clearly here. Anyway, so I'll go on with the next card because that's really bizarre. Okay, so the last card you have your presence, the Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, again, working to get closer to this big milestone. You're absolutely getting there, and you're going to get there a little bit, well, the first bit's going to get there quickly, but I think when it comes to the last bits, you might be a little bit impatient. You might have to wait a bit more for that, but you are getting there. That's what this is telling you as well. Now, when you get there, when you get to the first goal or the second goal or to whichever one you haven't reached yet, you're going to feel a little bit different to what you imagined you'd feel like when you actually got there. But I think you've experienced a few big achievements before in your life, you know, where the outcome's been totally different. So, you know, you're a bit prepared for that. You know what that feels like. So I think you're kind of ready for that to feel a little bit different. The one thing you might struggle with is some people's reactions to you when you get to one of these milestones. I think there are some people around you who might they might not understand what you're doing and why you're doing this, why you want to do this. So just be prepared for some different reactions. You know, it's not that they won't be supportive, because I'm seeing these particular people who really love you. They're very close to you and they care about you. I think it's just that they probably have limited understanding of what you're doing. They don't quite understand it properly. So they're going to try and support you in their own way, but it might not be satisfying support for you. So just realize that they do love you, they want to support you, but it's not going to feel all that great from those people. That's just what I'm getting there. And the other thing I'm seeing is with this person's face that's popping up. I'm seeing that again here. It's definitely an ex or an ex-love connection or something like that. I actually think they might be doing this on purpose, coming up on social media on purpose, you know, putting their face out there. You know, when people put their faces up on social media and you know, they want to say to people, oh, look at me, I'm so amazing. I'm having the most amazing time. I'm out with my friends and I'm so fantastic. And, you know, they're working really hard to show people what a fantastic time they're having, just like the man on this card's working really hard. And I'm just looking at this tree trunk as well, with all these coins going up the tree. And, you know, say if you're walking along and you're at a distance from this tree and you saw all these coins, they'd really stand out to you. You'd see them right away. So they want to be noticed, they want to be seen, and they're working toward being seen by you. That's what I'm seeing. But from what I'm getting here is they'll definitely be seen. You'll see this picture come up. But there's some kind of change in their appearance. I keep on seeing that, and it's going to make them noticed, but for the wrong reasons, I think. It might be that they've coloured their hair or they've done something different. It might even be something to their face, you know, that's really, really different. Because when I first saw this, it was in the Nine of Wands. And if you look at that man, he's got a bandage around his head. So they might have even had surgery. I don't know. Who knows what it is? But to put it nicely, to try and put this nicely, whatever this change is, it's not something you're going to be attracted to. So yeah, if you do see this, and I think you will, it's going to be a shock, but it's going to be a really good shock for you, because I think this is going to be something that makes you say, okay, I'm finally moving on. I'm finally moving on from them now. So it's going to be a good thing for you. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the first card you have for your future is the Seven of Wands. Okay, so I think this has something to do with this goal that you're working toward. There are going to be a few, so again, 3 big milestones that you have to pass. I'm seeing that again. And with one of them, there's going to be a little bit of a roadblock I'm seeing here. And I think there's going to be some kind of negotiation around something that's to do with that. It definitely has something to do with this goal. I'm seeing that. I think someone's going to try and negotiate you out of something. And yeah, I think you're going to have to be really, really strong and really stand your ground here, like this man, because you're going to have to be quite careful as well. Don't be angry, but there's a tendency that you have to get into a kind of a fight or flight mode when you're backed into a corner, and this man's obviously backed into a corner. You know, you either get really, really angry, or you just say, oh, forget it, and you walk off. Don't do that in this negotiation. When you're in the middle of this, if this resonates, if you know what this might be, you're going to have to be really patient. You're going to have to really calmly stand your ground. And I think if you do that, that's when you'll get the result you want, and that's when you'll get through one of these milestones. And this person you're up against, it looks like they're a professional at this. It looks like they're really good at this. Look at how dishevelled and distressed and stressed this man is, because he's up against people who make him feel that way. And that's what you're going to be up against. So, for one, just remember who you are. You're very intelligent. You're very good at words. You're good at that. The only thing that might be a problem for you in these negotiations is if you lose your head and you start getting angry. That's the only thing that might be a problem for you. So you're going to have to really watch your temper, get a clear head. It might help if you say, okay, I'm going to have these negotiations at this date, at this time, when you say, when it suits you. If you feel yourself getting angry, you might have to say, okay, let's take a break now. I'm going to go away, come back again, compose myself again. Don't say that to them, but, try and take breaks. Do what you can to get yourself into this more peaceful mode, because you're generally getting into a more peaceful mode. I was seeing that in the Ace of Wands, but this is going to be something that's really, really challenging. So you're going to have to remember that. Okay, so the next card you have for your future is the Nine of Pentacles. So yeah, again, focusing on yourself, being by yourself, focusing on this goal. And there's money here as well, money goals. So if you're single, this is what I'm seeing here. If you're single, and especially if you've been trying to date and all that, I'm actually not seeing a lot of luck here when it comes to dating for you, at least for your immediate future. I know that probably sounds a bit negative, but it's actually a positive, because what I'm getting is, I don't know if this is going to make sense, but I'll just do my best with this. What I'm getting all over this reading is you're changing, you're evolving, you're changing on the inside. And maybe some of these people who you were seeing or dating or whatever, they weren't quite on that same wavelength as you internally yet. And I've seen a bit of this in the Eight of Pentacles, trying to find people who fully understand you and where you are on a deep level. And I think that's a struggle for you, and I think it's going to keep on being a struggle for you for a while. I'm just looking at these two trees on this card, and sometimes they represent the Garden of Eden. There's the tree of life and the tree of knowledge. And I'm not putting anyone down, I'm really not, but I think some of these people's views are between the two trees. They have a very narrow outlook on things. And your perspective, your outlook, especially as you grow, it's outside of these two trees. So it's a much wider perspective. So when you come together and you try and communicate, it doesn't quite work. And I think that's the reason why it hasn't really worked for you. If you've been struggling with dating and not finding the right person, I think that might be part of what's happening. So, and I think because of all that, I think the pool of people who'd be right for you is, it's just a lot narrower than what it used to be. But that's a good thing, actually, because you're looking for the right person. You're not just looking for any person. You want the right person. And, there's definitely someone there for you. There's someone coming up for you, definitely coming up this year for you. But I think until that time, you're quite happy to just be by yourself. You'd rather be by yourself than with someone with being with someone with a limited view. And again, I'm not saying you're this amazingly enlightened person and everyone else is silly. I'm not saying that at all. We're all on our own individual paths in this life. But, you're happy to wait. You're happy to be by yourself like this woman, and you're happy to work toward your goals by yourself. It feels quite comfortable for you being by yourself. And so you're going to stay like that for a while until the absolute right person comes, and they are coming. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So the last card you have for your future is the Three of Wands. Okay, so there's not a lot I really have to say about this, because really I was seeing a bit of this, what I was seeing here in the Ace of Wands, the Six of Wands, all over this reading. 3 parts to this goal. So there's the first part I think you might have already achieved the first part of that. You've got the second one coming up, and then the final one is the third part. 3 ships that are coming in on this card. You probably can't see. I'll lift it up anyway. They're very tiny ships. So the 3 ships are coming in. This man's waiting for them to come in. He seems to be a little bit, it looks like he's being patient, but if you look at this piece of cloth he has kind of hanging around him, it looks a bit like a checkered cloth, a bit like a flag you'd see at a racetrack, so he's a little bit impatient. So that's where you've got to watch yourself as well. You might be a bit impatient for this to come in, but it's coming in at the right time. These 3 stages of this goal that you want to get to the end of, they're all coming in at the right time for you. So just wait for them to come in. Try and be at peace with yourself and just wait for them to come. They are coming in.